Welcome back to Mobility Solutions. Today we are swapping batteries in a... Wait, what is that?
What you doing today?
Oh man, changing out batteries on a Maxima, the new style Maxima. I guess new style. I guess the guy got it in 2021 year. It's not holding a charge. Usually one battery's weaker than the other. It's dropping down fast. How he described it is he can go about 20-30 minutes and he loses about 3 or 4 bars. That's usually an indication of 1 week battery, or it could be 2 week batteries. So about 4 years out of this system. It's pretty nice to get. So we're gonna go change it. It's very easy. We use MK batteries here. I know a lot of people comment phosphate batteries. We do use phosphate batteries. We're not a big fan of Dakota phosphate batteries, but we do use phosphate batteries. We're putting the MK AGM style batteries into his power chair. These are a 55 amp hour battery. That's what calls for this unit. Top post. Now you can put gel in here and we can go over gel later. If you want to know more about batteries, just leave a comment and we can have a battery video one day. Also, we're going to tighten up some things. Big guy, nice guy. His name's Pete. We've had him actually on the show. Now sometimes these seats, this is a heavy seat by the way. Sometimes if you move this, it can lock the seat onto the mobility scooter. And then sometimes you have to remove this. So if you can't pull the seat off the mobility scooter by just picking it up, then you would use this, or sometimes there can be another lock feature. First thing you do to remove the seat off of a scooter is just try to pull it up without touching the lever to swivel the seat, because if you sometimes use this, it can lock it onto this post. Now if you get a seat that can't come off and you're having a hard time pull up, look to see if this little piece is locking on this. If it doesn't come up, then you try to use the swivel part and then pull it up. If it doesn't come up from that, then look and see if there's another locking device, especially if you're a VA customer, you had a scooter from the VA, or you bought a scooter from someone from the VA. Sometimes they have an extra lock feature that locks this here, so just kind of keep an eye on that. If you have to get up under it, if you can, just see if there's something that's preventing it to slide up, because these little slots, you see it just 4 here, but there's other slots on this post that if you have it moved a little bit, the bracket that allows us to swivel is locking up underneath this. All right, so on this unit, we just removed the shrouds pretty easy. There's 2 batteries in here. That's usually the case with all mobility scooters, unless it's lithium, but when it comes to deep cycle, that's usually always the case for at least the scooters that I sell. Now I've had one person one time, old Amigo scooter, had 1 battery operating it, and I told him there's 2 batteries. I'll be dang if there wasn't just 1. These are, on this particular unit, are screwed down, so that could be a problem with adding this back over top of it. I don't think it's going to be the case. So let's go and get this out, get him charged up. If someone's usually asking, can I figure out if my batteries are good or bad? Well, yes, you can. Some companies use a load tester on the batteries. Some companies, I think they use a digital reading, which supposedly doesn't really work too well. Like one of these, the digital ones, it's more for a crank amp. We use an analyzer, high-end analyzer, but there's no need to do this for this situation. You always change out both batteries. So I got 12.6. You think that's good? I'll put on the analyzer. It'll give me a percentage reading of this. It might be really low, is why he's not getting far. I'll come over here and 12.6. So it seems like these have been charged properly, and they're just low percentage. They're just old. They're ready to be replaced. So you don't see 12.6 on a set of batteries coming out of a unit someone's had. That's actually really good. Nice to know that he has been properly taking care of his batteries. Let's get these terminals off. Sometimes, just so you know, and I didn't want to make this a long video, but sometimes you have to put, there's top posts. This is actually a great video explaining this. So people just want to know, like, if you jump off, it's fine. But see this top post? These are screwed down posts. This should still fit in that Maxima, but there are some cases that this is too high. You can see the difference in the height of the two if you compare them. See that? So I'm hoping that this is going to fit in there, which it should. Now another cool part about what we use as MK is this is a fresh battery. Look, this was made in February of 2025, where some of the batteries you buy from a local battery store or online, it can be an older battery sitting up on a shelf for a long time on a boat. Could be made 2 years before you get it. I don't really ship too many batteries or sell batteries online. I'm here just to kind of help you with some of these videos. Hopefully it helps you in the situation you're in. All right, so let's go ahead and change this out. That is the nice part about screw down.
Yeah, it is.
One thing I do like to check is voltage readings. That's just me. Some people will say it doesn't matter. I like to do it just for my best interest. And when you check one battery, you can set it at 20, but when you check both batteries together, you set it at 200. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set this at 20. Put it on here, 12.75. That looks good. On the one we're going to replace, 12.74. That's what I want to see. Within a couple decimals of each other. I don't want to see a 7.5 with a really low one. That's going to be our problem later, is the lower one. So I like to put them in there at the same reading if I can. So now we're just going to take these. And hook them up. Now obviously if you don't know how to hook up batteries, it's pretty simple. Positive, negative. Black is usually negative and red is positive. Now if that's confusing to you, my suggestion to you on this thing is to go to a local dealer and have someone install it and spend the money. So let's just go ahead and hook this up. Now these things are kind of a pain in the butt on this. Slide this back a little bit. Come here. And then they give you the hardware with this. Now if you call a local store and say that your scooter, you need batteries, and you don't know what chair you have, and they give you the wrong price, well, that's really not their fault. If you give them the make and model, they can figure out what batteries you have, or at least get close to it. Now some scooters offer upgrade batteries, so they might have, the price might be with a 50 amp hour battery, and there might be a 75 amp hour battery, or like a 12, 18, or 22, so just keep that in mind. They're not trying to make extra money off of you. They're just not really sure what you have. If you don't know what you have, I don't know how you expect them to know what you have. Now, sometimes I'm using... What's up, Eddie? There's Eddie. Eddie, say hello.
How you doing there, Chris? What's up? You got it? You need a hand?
Need a hand. Do you know what positive and negative is?
Yep.
What color would be positive?
Well, since I was a kid, it's been red.
All right. See, if Eddie knows it, the original Angelina from LA, everybody should know it.
The ghettos of LA.
Tell us a little bit about LA, Eddie.
It's a town with too many people, number one, and you gotta be tough. If you want to live in that town, you gotta live tough. You gotta be tough.
So you think you got to be tougher there than here?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Oh, without a doubt.
What?
Piece of cake living here.
What are you talking about? This is the South, Bo. We tough down here.
Everybody.
I think he's talking about a different kind of tough.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Disneyland?
I was at Disneyland the day it opened. I even saw Mr. Walt Disney. He said, you know, everybody was waiting to get in, and he's standing out there, and he goes, "Wait, everybody wait. What are we waiting for?" So he invited everybody, "Come on in." This was his dream, and he did it. It was amazing. I didn't even know it was that important.
He was an amazing guy.
My granddaughter laughs. She goes, "God, isn't that funny? He made $1 million just drawing a little mouse." Yep.
All right, let's get the next one out. Yeah, that's Eddie. He's 70. Well, he was born 19. I almost gave away our... I can't tell you what I was going to say. I was going to give away something, but he was born 1940. So, he is older. He still moves around very well.
Me and what's his name? Trump.
Well, yeah, okay. I thought you were gonna get on a political talk. We don't get on political talk around here. Americans is what they call us.
Anyways, I'm glad we all moved up. It's called consciousness.
I'm not scared to get on to a political talk with someone, but I just don't think the necessary of doing that on this channel. I believe in hard work, and I believe in helping people, and I believe in family, Jesus, and stuff like that, but we'll leave it there. I guess I shouldn't be afraid to talk about whatever, but again, there's just some things you just kind of, there's no need to bring it up. There's no need.
Some things can speak for themselves.
Right. I bless people every day. For example, this lady was driving down the road with her tire busted up, driving on the rim in the middle of the interstate, 4 lanes in the middle one, forever. Finally pulled up next to her and told her, get over. And she finally got over. I don't know what, she was trying to make it to the exit. I don't know why. She says she didn't have a spare. I looked and saw she had a spare. I told her I'll change it. She says I didn't need to do it, but I did call the DOT for her to get someone there to help her. I guess she was scared of me, but I don't know why she would be scared. But you never know. Oh, one thing, and this isn't the case for this, just throw it out there to you. If you have no power with this and you have your batteries and you're getting power from here off the battery, but no power through here, then you probably have a bad break here. Just throwing it out there. And if these wires are really, really old, it's probably best to change these out too with your batteries, because if there's a lot of corrosion and problems with these wires, it's not going to allow the batteries to last as long. It doesn't really matter which way you set these up. It can go either way, just so you know. These connections are going to, pretty much be pretty simple. Just, take a picture. I do this a lot, so I'm kind of like saying, oh, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? But I use YouTube all the time for fixing my tractor or different things. These straps just kind of hold these batteries into place. So nice little slip knot. He's always bringing this back into us to fix. Comment below what you think the rear end of the scooter looks like. Look, also in here, it gives you a nice little diagram of what we're doing. And there's fuses and stuff. So very, very nice to understand it. It also tells you what to not do, blah, blah, blah. So AGM to gel, gel, or AGM. You'd go gel if, Louie, if you're going to be riding this really far down. Is the strap bothering it? Yeah. Okay, perfect. But make sure those go out that way. What is that, a rental?
It's a customer out there, and he needs this tightened up.
All right, get the seat back on. Tighten up these arms. How busy are they up there?
Busy, very busy.
Are they really?
Yeah. How do you tell that that's enough?
All right. That's how you change your batteries. Now this is a 5-year-old scooter. Look how it's dirty. That's fine. He's been using it. We can wipe it down. Inside of there, it looked like it was well taken care of. Now look over here. This scooter is one of my favorite scooters, but it's not meant to be an outdoor off-road scooter. This guy's probably using it like that. I get it. Batteries are really low. That means he hasn't been charging it. The seat is all tore up. This is they tighten this up, but if you have this scooter, don't put weight on this on the side, either or. It's going to loosen this collar up. Hands in the middle if you need help getting off the scooter. Now look, this has got his money out of it for sure. The other problem is people ask, can you get this wet? Yeah, you can. This water poured out of this when it came in. There's probably a lot more water in there. It's still working. We don't want, a little bit of water can do a lot of damage. A lot of water can do a little bit of damage. They're usually water resistant, but we don't like to tell people that. They have things all over it, but that's all I needed was that.
That's it.
I'll tell them to charge it up. That's it, guys. Watch for more videos. We're trying to do more repairs to help you out. We do have a really cool comparison video coming up. I'm not going to say what it is. A lot of people are watching us now. Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all and have a blessed day.
Thanks for watching today's battery swap video, and just a friendly reminder, if you are in the market for a heavy-duty travel scooter, the all-new Carryon HD 228 is coming out this month. It's the first fold-flat travel scooter with a heavy-duty weight capacity of 400 pounds. Check out the video on the screen now for behind-the-scenes footage of it at MedTrade 2025. Call us at 803-926-2224 to place your pre-order today.